Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Temperatures going up as we head into Saturday, but the humidity is not. Find out how long before that starts to spike. Devin?
All right, Ben, the Detroit Lions say they plan to have fans in the stands this season at Ford Field. But how's that going to work? And what about fans who've already paid for their season tickets?
But first, it wasn't going down without a fight. Wild police body camera video shows a serial home invasion suspect try to run over officers before they took him down. It all came to an end at a junkyard in Wyandotte.
And now that suspect, accused of breaking into 3 homes in 24 hours, is in jail awaiting arraignment. Defender Sean Lay takes us step-by-step through a wild chain of events. Sean.
Well, let's make this clear right out of the gate. This guy is in custody, but it's the type of case that will make you at home want to check your doors and windows. In one case, he got through someone's front door. A woman was sleeping on the couch, and he was walking all around her and then walked out with her safe.
The woman actually felt the suspect walking around her. However, she thought it was her daughter. Only later she learned that her daughter wasn't even home.
Can you imagine waking up to realize a home invasion suspect with a violent past was walking around you as you slept in your own home? Since August 1st, Wyandotte police have been on the hunt for a man, and night after night, he was on a one-man crime spree. August 1st, climbing through a window as a family slept. The next night, forcing his way through a front door as a mom, dad, and kids were sleeping. Then he stole a car. Wyandotte police giving chase, losing him on foot in Detroit. August 5th, he's spotted near a scrapyard. Watch as police chase, and he grabs a dump truck.
He's in a truck.
The man actually jumped into a dump truck and stole the dump truck. He reversed it directly at the officers, and we're very lucky that somebody wasn't severely hurt. One of our officers weren't even pressed with chills.
Watch again, the officers shot from a taser.
Taser deployed.
Going right through the passenger side window, a direct hit and a takedown. Tonight, people all over Wyandotte are thanking those officers.
They subjected themselves to immense danger to rid our society of somebody that was a true threat.
Plenty of people here in Wyandotte reacting to this takedown by Wyandotte police, clearly saying they can sleep easier tonight. In Wyandotte, Sean Lay, Local 4.
Okay, Sean. Well, today, Governor Whitmer extended Michigan's state of emergency due to the coronavirus. It's now set to expire on September 4th. That news comes as 762 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in the past 24 hours. That's 40 more than yesterday. But good news here, the state reports 0 coronavirus deaths in the past day. A big announcement today involving the country's largest school district.
The governor of New York says all public schools in that state, including New York City, have met the criteria to reopen for in-person learning. But back here at home, much different story with a growing number of districts deciding to go remote to start the school year. And now a group of educators in Warren says their district should be added to that list. Larry Spruill following that story. Larry?
Yeah, Devin, the Warren Education Association represents about 800 plus teachers, and tonight they are speaking out for those teachers, demanding that the students should stay home for the upcoming school year. Now, I spoke with one local parent, and she tells me she agrees.
I think they're doing their job protecting the teachers.
Erin Taylor Snishonak has a 4-year-old who is supposed to be starting pre-K in Warren schools, but now she's not sure. She thinks the students should stay home.
As long as it takes. I don't expect to send her back to school personally now until phase 6, and that's if we trust that phase 6 is based on good data and good judgment.
Her views match the Warren Education Association. The organization released a letter to Warren schools making sure their concerns are heard loud and clear. It says in part, our demand that Warren Consolidated Schools suspend any plans to return to in-person instruction to start the school year fulfills this duty as it is the right thing to do. It continues with, our reason for demanding such action is twofold. Warren Consolidated Schools, like other public school districts, have not had the time or resources necessary to put in place the health and safety protocols required to safely reopen schools to students. And 2, COVID-19 cases in our community are not improving at the rate necessary for containment of this pandemic. And Erin agrees.
And I don't think the risk is worth it to my family, to my parents, to my in-laws, to all the essential workers out there.
And I did reach out to the school district. I have not heard back just yet, but the association says school is supposed to start September 8th. We're live tonight. Larry Sproul, Local 4.
Close. All right, Larry. Now, it's one of the biggest worries, of course, for families. How will their children be going back to school, whether virtual or in person? We know you got a lot of questions and struggles and challenges that may be unique to your family as you try to make the decisions for your kids.
Well, that's why Local 4 is holding an Education for All town hall this Thursday at 7. It's going to be on our website. Click on Detroit.com. Devin, you and Paula will be joined by education leaders from across Metro Detroit to answer your questions.
So submit your questions now on our website at clickondetroit.com, and we hope you'll be with us online this Thursday, next week from yesterday at 7 p.m. The search for survivors in Beirut has now turned into a race against the clock.
Rescue team leaders say people still stuck in the rubble don't have much time left, and right now they're clinging on to hope. At least 150 people have died. Field hospitals are being set up to help care for the thousands wounded in that blast.
And on top of our economic crisis now, I don't know how people are going to rebuild. We are really sad. We are really numb. I don't know where we're going to go from here.
And the cause of the fire that lighted the thousands of tons of highly flammable materials is still under investigation. Lebanon's president says the explosion is down to either negligence, a missile, or perhaps even a bomb.
Well, it's a beautiful Friday to get outside if you can, because as we head through the weekend, the heat is going to ramp back up.
Yeah, let's get over to Ben for a look at what we've got for tonight. Hi, Ben.
Hey, guys. Yeah, the weekend is here, and it's warmer than what we saw during the week. No doubt about that, getting even warmer as we go into Saturday and Sunday. We've topped over the 80-degree mark here at Metro Airport. Still a lot of 70s outside of that, but the humidity has been our friend. It has been very low and should stay that way on Saturday. Not necessarily, though, as we close the weekend on Sunday. So Saturday, the pick of the 2 days, still not bad. I think most of Sunday is going to be dry, but there are going to be rain chances. We'll talk timing of that and see how much more heat and humidity we've got coming next week. And that's all when we see you in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. New numbers out today show the U.S. job market did improve last month, but with employment still above 10%, there is not a lot worth celebrating. And with so many out of work, Congress and the White House still locked in negotiations over a new relief bill. Alice Barr following it for us from Washington. Alice?
Devin, today's job numbers are encouraging, but there is still a long way to go. According to the Labor Department, the hiring over the past 3 months has recovered just 42% of the jobs lost during the coronavirus crisis.
As businesses open their doors and bring back laid-off workers, the U.S. economy added 1.8 million jobs in July, lowering the unemployment rate from 11 to 10.2%. President Trump and his advisors declaring victory.
The policies that the president we put in place is going to push that rate significantly below 10% going forward. And that to me is that's good news.
But the job gains are lower than in May and June.
We have a total of 31 million people collecting some kind of unemployment.
And economists warn the recovery may only get harder.
This is the low-hanging fruit coming back. It came back with tremendous federal assistance. That assistance is now ended.
Top White House officials back on Capitol Hill today, resuming talks with Democrats over the next relief bill after negotiations ended bitterly last night.
I offered to them, we'll take down $1 trillion if you add $1 trillion in. They said absolutely not.
Time is running out for the workers and small business owners struggling to hang on.
Pretty soon I'll be selling my house to try to keep this restaurant alive. My message to Washington, D.C. is stop bickering with each other.
President Trump says he's considering an executive order to address evictions, unemployment benefits, and a payroll tax cut. But there are looming questions over whether he could legally go around Congress.
Some of the biggest hang-ups in negotiations are extending those enhanced $600 unemployment benefits and offering more aid to state and local governments. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
All right, Alice, for perspective, 42% of the jobs lost during the pandemic, 42% have now been recovered, but experts warn that other 58% is going to be harder to make up.
A U.S. House Ethics Committee issues a ruling on an investigation of Representative Rashida Tlaib's campaign finances. The committee decided Tlaib did indeed break the rules when she accepted $10,800 in salary payments from her campaign because she was a member-elect to Congress when it happened. But the committee says she didn't purposefully do this or try to cover it up. Now the committee says Tlaib has to pay the money back and the matter will be closed.
Some local restaurants say they need a lifeline if they're going to stay afloat.
How a bill in Washington called the Restaurant Act could help keep their doors open and why it's hit a roadblock despite having bipartisan support. Sandra.
It's a very simple way to help children, even teens and tweens, cope during COVID.
It gives them an opportunity that they don't necessarily have because not a lot of children are very comfortable talking about their feelings and their emotions with their parents or anybody.
I'm Sandra Ali. Find out what experts are encouraging kids to do. Would it work in your home? The story coming up.
Everyone's still in limbo as to how this will work for NFL home games. The Lions sent an email out today to season ticket holders, giving them options. Details next on Local 4.